The other one, I guess, I highlighted in the talk was the bushfires, which had hit us over the Christmas New Year period in Australia last year. Horrendous situation with blanket smoke over the southeastern part of the country and devastation for those who were living in the fire-ravaged areas. But again, it became very apparent that you needed to be able to respond to this, and you needed to have accurate, robust simulation capabilities to try and predict where is it going next, and how fast is that fire front moving, and what's the best way to try and mitigate against it. And that kind of response activity to crises like that is something which we can start to envisage being able to respond in real time. Whereas dial it back a decade, there's no way you could respond in real time with that kind of information base to underpin what you were doing. You basically would have your emergency teams do whatever they could, and then you go back and analyze what happened, a month later and try and learn from what happened, rather than being able to actually analyze and predict in real time and respond in real time. Now, I would say that we're not at that stage yet, but these kinds of events and the evidence that the likes of Gardi was able to pivot quickly and provide capacity for the modelers who were getting in and trying to figure out what was going on with these bushfires, it allows us to see a vision for the future of what may be possible and what, in all honesty, will be possible over the coming 5 to 10 years.
I have one last question. So how big is the Gaudi supercomputer?
Oh, okay. So it's around about the actual machine itself that is in one of the slides of the talk. I would say it's about roughly a tennis court, I would say.
Oh, right. Oh, that's
not as big as you might think. And in fact, its predecessor, the previous supercomputer we had, Rygen, was quite substantively larger. And so it's quite interesting that one of the special things about the Gaudi architecture is that it incorporates what we call direct liquid cooling, which means that, and that's provided by Lenovo, who work with Fujitsu in providing this solution. Now, what it means is you've got copper pipes literally running over every motherboard, and we have water going in, about maybe 30, 35 degrees and coming out the back end 10 degrees hotter. And then we pump it up to the roof for natural cooling, essentially. But that's a lot of copper, and it's an awful lot of water which is flowing through the machine, several tons worth. And so the machine, while it's significantly smaller, is a lot heavier too. And so we had to do a lot of reconstruction of the part of our data center that holds it in order to be able to carry all that weight. So it's a very interesting architecture. It's much more efficient in terms of electricity utilization. It's heavier and it's smaller, and of course a lot more powerful.
That's fascinating. I think, say, in 5 or 10 years' time, will be even smaller. If I use the analogy of mobile phones, thinking back to the 90s, right?
Indeed. And in 5 or 10 years' time, we will have new components in the machine that we don't have today. We'll probably have a component which is quantum computing processes in that sort of time frame.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Professor. That was really great speaking to you about NCI, and I learned a lot. Thank you very much for your time.
Jane, thank you. It's a pleasure.